What's up, guys? This is Jefferson Bug Rub in the flesh here, chilling, hanging out with you guys. These videos are going to be very uncut, very scuffed videos, but I just want to talk about content creation and live streaming, the things that, the things that are important to me, the things that I think about, the things that I talk about, things that I do. So if you guys don't know, I host a interactive cartoon talk show. It's not just a talk show, it's a podcast, it's gaming, it's everything. You can call into the show, and that's kick.com/chefbugrub. And it's a very fun show that I've created. It's a very intricate show that I've created. It's a mixture of VTubing, it's a mixture of cartoon animation, a lot of different things. And I really wanted to create a show that was different than most VTubers you see. Most VTubers you see are like these they're like these anime VTubers. They don't really have a specific goal of the show, and I wanted to create a show where it's like episodic and things like that, but it's also just very scuffed and very raw. And I want to talk about live streaming, because I think live streaming nowadays is very sought after. It's what a lot of people want to do. They want to live stream, they want to reach that goal, they want to be the next big Kai Cenat or Aiden Ross or any of these people. And I stream on Kick. I'm a Kick streamer through and through. It's my main thing, kick.com/chefbugrub. But live streaming in itself is probably one of the most gut-wrenching things that you can get into. And what do I mean by that? Now, I'm somebody that has gone through many phases of live streaming. I used to live stream as just a person, and I did my thing, and it was going okay. And then I decided I was going to reinvent myself. I was going to do a whole cartoon show. I was going to be a cartoon live streamer. You know what I mean? Like, I found my niche. And that's what people always talk about in content creation. They talk about their niche, but it's not always rainbows and sunshine when it comes to finding your niche. The difficult part about it all is, I find you put a lot of work into something that you might find interesting, and like, we're talking about the things that, like, you've already mastered the basic techniques of live streaming. You've mastered the talking all the time aspects. You've mastered the entertaining aspects of live streaming. But when it comes to everything else, like, you've created something that is beautiful, it's unique, it's one of a kind. And that's the one thing I always tell people all the time is, no matter, you can give away all your secrets. It doesn't matter who you give your secrets to. You are the only person that can create what you want to create. It doesn't matter who's what or where. Content creation in 2025, that's kind of, I think, will be the title of this video, is content creation in 2025, live streaming in 2025. Content creation in 2025, it's something that is just so, it is saturated. Yes, it is 100% saturated. No matter what platform you're on, there's TikTok, Twitch, Kick, it doesn't matter. There's always somebody doing something better than you in some way, shape, or form on those platforms. And the thing with live streaming too is, the audience on these different platforms, you need to almost tailor your content to all of these different platforms. And what I've found is, somebody who has been multi-streaming, I've done multi-streaming, I've done single platform streaming, my main platform being Kick, as I'm partnered there, which is amazing. But I've tried multi-streaming to other platforms too, and I always feel like I'm losing a bit of myself with that. So the advice that I could give as just somebody who's tried this all, and I'm not a guru, I'm not a guy with thousands and thousands upon viewers, right? I've seen, like, everybody talk about multi-streaming. They talk about multi-streaming. You got to multi-stream. You got to do that. For me, it's hard for me to imagine a world where that makes sense. I'm somebody that averages about 30 viewers a stream, right? It's hard for me to imagine a world where, 30 viewers, that many people split amongst all these different platforms, like, okay, I can understand maybe streaming to Twitch and Kick, picking those two platforms, or maybe Twitch and Rumble. And I'm not going to sit here and say any platform is better than the other platform, even though I may be affiliated more with one platform than the other. That's not my job of saying this. I just can't see you splitting your audience as a small streamer to be that beneficial. I understand the idea of spreading your net, spreading your horizons, but, like, what I would say is maybe focus on building a YouTube channel that is just a YouTube channel of your streams and your VODs, and, like, building your Kick and Twitch off of that separately. And like, this isn't coming from somebody that has done this. I'm just saying, like, when you're really spreading your net that far and wide, like, how do you expect to reach a certain goal on any platform when you're multi-streaming? It doesn't make sense to me, but people will tell you, the people at the top, you know, the Summit 1Gs, the Burnt Peanuts, all of these people, they'll tell you at the top, multi-streaming is the way. But these are people that have an audience already. So how does that work for you? You're casting your net far and wide for the audience. And most of these live streaming platforms, they only showcase your stuff when you're live. So how are these people going to find you if you're not live? And I think maybe making a VOD channel or something like that might be better. I don't know. I'm not a genius when it comes to this content creation, and that's kind of why I started this YouTube channel. Is I just wanted to vent about the things that you might go through as a small streamer. First off, I want to talk about imposter syndrome and how that may feel. So I'm somebody that has recently hit a lot of milestones, a lot of great milestones in my career. You know, I've won Respawn Recruits. I've got the Respawn chair behind me. You know, this was given to me by Respawn for winning the competition. I've performed my show live at DreamHack, man. How many people get the opportunity to say that they've performed the show live at DreamHack? Not many. And I'm very thankful for these opportunities. But sometimes I feel like, man, maybe my show is just not as good as I maybe think it is. And, you know, it might not be, because, you know, like, you make the shorts, you make all your shorts, you know, you post them on your socials. And if you guys aren't posting, if you're live streaming and you're not posting on socials, you're doing it wrong immediately. But if you're not posting on your socials, you know, or if you are, and you get these comments, these hate comments and things like that, it could be very detrimental to your mindset of what you're creating. And one of the hardest things is getting past that mindset of like being like, my shit is cool, my shit is fun, I'm doing all of the things right. Those things are super important, because your channel can only be done by you. And I think this might go into YouTube as well. Like, your channel can only be ran by you. You know, you've seen like people like Game Theory. You've seen people like Game Theory go and, like, you know, MatPat leaves and like the channel is just completely different, man. You know what I mean? So where are you going to be in your channel? That's the most important thing that I could think of. You know, it's hard in the streaming industry because everything you do is so like minute to minute, and things get lost in the noise very quickly. You can come up with a very awesome idea, and I've seen it done with like bigger people, like, you know, you like FaZe Lacey and Aiden Ross did their Nozempic streams, and like those were great streams, bro. But like they're already lost to the times. I Show Speed did his I Show Speed Across America, man, and it's already lost to the times, man. So where do you stand in comparison to these people? I think is the big thing. Just some, I think, fundamental advice I could give as a creator, right? The world may move in milliseconds, but you are only one person. You're only one person creating this stuff. You're only one person coming up with these ideas. And your ideas are still intricate. Your ideas are still valid. I think your ideas still make a difference. I think your ideas still matter. Only you can keep pushing these ideas to create better content, better stuff, pushing the limits. I don't want anybody to feel how I feel sometimes. And I say that because I don't feel this way all the time. But I don't want people to feel like their content, their vibe, their style of streaming is inadequate because they have to deal with the imposter syndrome that comes in of like, well, maybe I'm not as good as Aiden Ross. Maybe I'm not as good as Kai Cenat. Let's be clear. These people have millions of dollars. They can do whatever they want for their streams. You know what I mean? They can do whatever they want. You and me, we're not in that position. We don't have that opportunity. So remember, your ideas are still good. Your ideas are still valid. And there's a lot that hasn't been untapped in this live streaming market. Figure out what makes you different. Figure out what makes you unique. Figure out what makes people want to watch you, whether that's entertainment, education, all of that stuff. These are all things that add value to a stream, keep people wanting to watch you, help you build a community. And again, I'm not somebody that has built a large community at all. You know, my community again is like of up to like 30 people. which is no shaking the mud, man. I don't know if that's the phrase, but it's no shaking the mud. These are all people that I value. These are people that I enjoy spending my time with when I'm live streaming. You are your own person. You can create what you want to create. Don't let people tell you that you can't create what you want to create. Don't let people tell you that your stuff is garbage, it's trash, it's not good. Because if you don't develop a thick skin to get through these hate comments, you're not going to make it. I'm going to be honest. You're not going to make it. You got to be able to get through the comments. And, you know, maybe that's why I'm making this video. It's maybe this is a rant to get to the haters. I don't know. But you have to develop that thick skin. You have to develop a personality. You have to develop somebody that is oblivious to all of the haters, because there is going to be people on the internet. Specifically, if you spend any time on the internet, you know this. There's going to be people that are going to try to tear you down. They're going to try to break you down and all of this. And I don't want that for you. I want you to understand that these people will come no matter what you're doing. Whether it's, you know, I'll put it this way, right? I promoted a post on Instagram of a little advertisement I made for my live stream, because I was like, you know what, this is good. This is good advertisement for my show. I'm going to promote it. And I got people coming in my comment section calling it AI slop, it's garbage, this and that. And you got to get past those comments, because everything I do is handmade. It's, you know, if you've watched my show, you know, it's drawn. It's everything, man. So for people to tell me that, it hurts. It does hurt, but you can't let those comments get to you. I want you to understand that the world is full of haters, but you are your own voice. You're your own person. You can make a difference in the way that you want to make a difference. That's one thing that I've always been a big advocate of. Whether it's like people have different political beliefs or things like that, you can always make a difference in the way that you want to make a difference. I might not necessarily agree with you as the person watching this video. I probably don't, and that's okay. But I have my stances, my beliefs, my things that I want to push. You can have yours, and you can still foster a community of people that feel the same way as you do. And that's the human experience. That's the things that get people wanting to watch your content. So when it comes to live streaming, man, the best advice I can give people, as somebody that's reached somewhat of success with it, somewhat, be authentic, be you, be genuine, be yourself. Those are the things that will get people to want to watch you. And, you know, get your expectations in line. You might not become the next Aiden Ross. You might not get thousands and thousands of viewers, you know, but put yourself out there, collab with other people, learn from other streamers, watch other streams, watch those people, see what they do, talk all the time. Do not let the silence take over. Talk all the time. Do not let the silence take over. These are the things that I think about when it comes to live streaming. I want you guys that watch this to feel confident in your streams. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to deal with a chat that when there's nobody there. Keep that momentum going. You have to keep the energy going. You have to pretend that there's thousands of people watching you sometimes. And maybe I'm saying this to myself too, you know, because I can always learn. I can always get better at what I do. And you know, there's so many more things when it comes to live streaming that I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to end this video here. So I'd appreciate you guys liking, comment, and let me know what you think about live streaming. If you're a live streamer, let me know about your channel. Let me know what you do. One of the things that we do on my show is we have a call-in number, and people call in, and I say, if you want to self-promote, that's totally fine, but call into my show. Tell me about your show. So tell me about your show. Tell me what makes it unique. Tell me what makes it you. Because I think that we're in a very specific time where you have a lot of opportunities to get yourself out there. You have a lot of, you know, platforms to get your name across, and it's a really beautiful thing. So I think now is a really great time to get into live streaming. I really do. But I want to know what you guys think. So let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. And I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Be sure to comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So thank you guys. We're going to be doing more videos. They might not necessarily be about live streaming, but they'll be about life. They'll be about online. You know, I have some ideas of videos about raising children while being an online presence and not wanting your kids to be online. I have videos planned about other things too that I want to talk about. Probably working a 9-to-5 and like the aspects of like live streaming and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys. God bless. This is Jefferson Bug Rub signing out.